Peace. This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ, host of the Rockwell Radio Show. And on this particular episode, we're going to do something very, very different. Because not only is it the Rockwell Radio Show in the house, we've got with us
Hip-Hop DeToxX
and
the People's Podcast.
So we are doing a joint collaboration effort to give you something brand new. With us is my brother, Enoch, who is the author of a brand new book entitled The Poison. And what you're going to see today is a live reading from this book and where you can go get it. But first, he's going to jump up and tell us just a little bit about what this is about.
This is an interactive experience that's dealing with children, teenagers, growing up in the 80s during the rise of hip-hop, house music, the crack era. And this is an opportunity to take a journey to not only see what goes on during this time period, but also it's an opportunity to see how the poison that was produced today, it had a origin to it that we're going to kind of get to. So I want to make sure I put it out here that the poison produced, we want to deal with it being fact or fiction. That's part of this discussion. We want to use the book Poison to kind of lead us into that topic of the poison that the poison produced and look at the fact or the fiction aspect of it.
All right, you ready?
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Now, before we get started with the book, we want to also let you know that there's a purpose and a call to action that we want to give to everybody. Because we want to do a live interactive event here in Atlanta, starting off with us three coming together. And if there's any other businesses that want to join in this effort, please let us know, because we want to have fun. We want to have a good time, because we should have a good time while learning. However, while we dance, while we sing, while we read, while we enjoy the DJ doing what the DJ does, we want to be able to dig into the poison so we can produce antidotes to the poison today. So in saying that, we want to start off by giving our first reading. Now, our first reading starts off with us looking at why poison. So for my brothers here, we're going to go to page 14. And on page 14, why poison? Poison is everywhere. It surrounds us in the air, in the water, in the food. Poison is transmitted through the pen, the paint, the electronic devices, the sound and airwaves. Poison moves through words spoken and unspoken, in text, in audio, in poetry, in storytelling. Poison in speech, in hand movements, in facial expressions. Poison is loud, is soft, is hard, is attractive, is appealing in rhythmic patterns laced on top and within a beat. Poison in our habits, in our clothes, in what we wear, how we wear it, when we wear it, why we wear it, in our use of time and space, and why we do what we do. Poison engulfs the 7.7 billion inhabitants upon the earth. Poison blinds. It energizes till it numbs you. It enlivens you till it chokes you. It frees you till it enslaves you. It holds your attention and leaves you empty. Poison is excess. Poison is abuse. Poison is addiction. Poison is injustice. Why poison? And for those who say, well, what do you mean by poison? We're saying simple. Poison is a deadly potion or substance, spiritually corrupting ideas, evil intentions. That's the definition of poison. That's why we're coming together, because we know that we have to give antidotes to the poison. So the first reading starts off with the title of Wise Fools. Wise Fools is the title. I gotta put mine to the side. So this is from the fall of 1986 in the book Poison. Silky motions and yells at me over the loud and pulsating bass sound coming through the monster speakers. Whoa! You hear that? That's some new shit, and it's cold as hell. Yo, look at Daryl getting that shit, jacking that ass.
You know how we do.
Daryl hollers back.
Damn, this girl over here is jacking that ass off.
Silky looks back toward Daryl and hollers.
Can you handle all that, or do I need to help you with that?
Nah,
Hollers Daryl.
I don't need no help with this, Silk. Her name is Jennifer. We been dancing for a minute, and she got a fat ass onion.
Daryl thinks to himself,
man, she keep putting that trunk of funk on me. We gonna have to go to the Momo. Okay, she all in my pockets now. I don't have no ends in my pocket. What's she doing? Oh hell, her ass is dirty. She know what she doing. I gotta back up off her ass. She trying to make me pop off up in here. Damn, she dirty.
Daryl says to Miss Dirty in her ear.
All right now, let me get a breather with your fine ass. You just can't grind up on me all night and think that we not gonna have to get into a little something.
I say, smiling and kissing her on the back of her ear. Well, that was nothing but encouragement for her ass, because she turned her head, smiled at me, and then proceeded to pull me closer so she could grind even more on me.
Okay, you back on that again, huh?
While maintaining my rhythm to her rhythm, I pulled her back up and said in her ear, you do know I backed up off you because I was about to explode all on your back, right? Giggling, she looks at me, smiles, and continues doing what she been doing. Man, it's some bullshit. All you gonna do is smile? All right, all right. Okay, what's your number, Miss Dirty? Your ass just dirty. Just then, Daryl and Silky sees Lucky and Irvin walking towards them, and Lucky hollers,
man, I'm sweating up a storm. It's hot as hell up in here. My shirt wet as fuck. Y'all fellas know if they got any water somewhere around there?
Daryl answers,
it's a fountain in the hallway. Don't drink the fountain water from that tank over there by that back door, Lucky. Lucky hollers back,
okay, cool.
Lucky then looks at Jennifer dancing with Daryl and says,
you get her number? I see she trying to lock you down for the night, bro.
Daryl says,
stop playing. You know I did.
All right, D, we saw your ass from over on the other side and you were jacking her ass for a while. She looked like she wasn't gonna let you go. And I know it's gonna be on when we hook up though. This the best party so far this weekend, hollers Irving. I heard there's gonna be one over east off Jeffrey and another one west on Winchester tomorrow night. Let's go to both of them, Daryl, yells Irvin. Daryl hollers back,
let's do it, Irv.
Man,
hollers Silky.
It's hard to believe that you used to not dance, but you jacking your ass off now, D.
Hell yeah,
hollers back Daryl.
Hey, check out that fine ass broad over there,
says Silky.
She house as hell.
Where? Lucky asked. As Lucky begins to scope out the party on the low,
her,
says Daryl while motioning with a head nod. Old girl with the black riding boots, cream pants, turtleneck, and a leather jacket. She looks good, Irvin declared. Silky agreed.
She fine. And look, now she move, Irv, like she in a trance or something, sliding across the dance floor. And now she doing some ballerina type shit now. She deep house as hell.
Well, D, I'm gonna wait till some more beat tracks come on before I get back out there to take y'all dancing to all this deep shit ass out there house ass motherfuckers. Lucky laughs. Man, was all this worth me packing up, running away from home, and leaving my family? What do you think? What would you have done?
Music is the key to set yourself free from violence, drugs, and increasing poverty. The key is to a lock. The lock is on the door. The door has a knob that you never turn before. A jackmaster jock can open up the lock because he has the key to unlock your body. Takes the lock off and opens up the door to house people galore. The beat won't stop with the JM jock because it jacks the box.
That's one of the anthems of house music in Chicago. AM Silk.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the first segment we're doing this like a live reading, as if we're reading a script for a play. And according to our brother, this book has that potential and more. So now we're going to discuss the segment we just read, and we're going to ask him a few questions about what we just read. So I'll start with brother Josh, if he wants to ask some questions and make a point.
Yes, sir. The main question that I have for you is, a lot of young people have run away from home. Me and my sisters were joking earlier about me actually running away from home before. When I was very young, it wasn't over a house party, but it was over, I ran away from home. What do you think is the driving force behind young people running away from home in the 80s era? Was it the music? Was it the poison? What was it?
I think there were very different reasons for different people when it comes to the households that they were in. The character Daryl, his household, the mama didn't want him to get shot, and killed like so many were being killed in the 80s. A lot of people forget that the 80s were some of the bloodiest years, leading up to 1993, when there was like over 940 murders in the city of Chicago. So one of the things that this particular mother wanted to do in terms of protecting her child was to say, hey, I'll take you to the park. I'll take you to the museum. I'll do things with you. However, no, you cannot go out. You can't go out downstairs with your cousins because people are shooting out there. The GDs are fighting with the moles, and I don't want you being caught up in the crossfire. No, you can't go around the corner because I don't know who's around the corner, and I don't want you getting shot or killed. So after a while, that kind of atmosphere, while watching your friends go to parties, and it's a whole lot of activities, that young people were participating in with no parental guidance. There was no parents, no adults there. And so you would have parties with 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 teenagers. And you have a few adults that may be collecting money and on security, but other than that, it's being populated by teenagers. So when you get that kind of peer pressure, there's a lot of misunderstandings that teenagers go through. And if there's no one to kind of untie the knots of those misunderstandings, then it puts the type of pressure on certain children's mind where they determine, well, I want my freedom. And I don't care about the possibility of getting shot and killed because they're not watching the news anyway. They know stuff is going on, but unfortunately, they're willing to, say, hey, I'll face whatever consequence there is, but I want to be free. And they equate freedom with being able to go to the party, being able to hang out with their friends. That's what they equate freedom with.
So let me jump in and ask this question. We didn't know that we were in danger. We had no idea that there was a possible situation that could have popped off any minute, but we was just concerned about having fun.
Right.
Why is it that you think at that age we just weren't even thinking about the potential that something could have popped off?
When you think about children like babies, for example, babies, they're not afraid of anything. They're fearless. They have to be taught to be afraid. So they'll walk off a ledge, they'll roll off a bed. They're not afraid. And so I think that a lot of times with young people, we forget that, hey, we don't want to put the spirit of fear in them. However, we want to make them aware of their surroundings and aware of what's going on and how to navigate away from the things that could end their lives or be of detriment to their lives. And so with this young boy, Daryl, he used to not dance, but now he dances. And now it's girls who want to do something to him. Yes, sir. And it's like, you can't be in your room and experience those things. You got to be out there with your guys doing those kind of things to experience what he's experiencing. Not understanding that even in that, there's a consequence to that. And so I think that as we look at the subject matter, especially the word poison, at the root of all poisons from a psychosocial perspective, the root of poisons have at the core a lot of half-truths, a lot of myths, and even lies are part of the poison. And so you can't help but have misunderstandings. You can't help but have miscommunication,
right?
Where you're not able to articulate what you really feel and what you really are going through. And that's one of the issues that teenagers have And if we don't have parents that at least are trying to parent, not to say you're perfect, but at least try to parent and seek a balance with this teenager, because we're dealing with worlds that are falling and collapsing while this teenager is growing up. Okay. So, and at the end of that particular excerpt, the teenager is questioning himself. Like, I just went to this party and I had this experience. However, was this worth me packing up and leaving my family? Mm-hmm. And then the question is, what do you think? What do you think? What would you have done? So when you all go back, you were 15 years of age, and I appreciate you sharing your story about what you went through. Do you think you would have did the same thing? Do you think you could have done something different and not run away from home?
I see. Josh, back on you with your question.
Yes, sir. Are we going to ask another question about this segment?
This is our second round.
Right, this is our second round.
Right. So we can go to the next question. I mean, the next reading.
Okay.
And the next reading is titled, "Where's the Party At?"
Before we do that, we're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back.